Well, hello. Welcome to the 30. This is Patrick, your host. Tonight, we are going to be talking about, I'm going to give you some reports from Breakthrough Small Business and Leadership Conference. I'm going to give you some updates. We just ended day 2. So I'm going to give you some updates from day 1 and from day 2. And I'm also going to, if you have some comments, you want to put them in the comments field. We will have a conversation, you and I. Any questions that you want to be answered in relation to the conference or anything that's on your mind, feel free to put it in a comments field and let's have a discussion today. Let's get this party started. Of course, it's the 30. It's Thursday, so it must be the 30. This is your host, Patrick, for another week. This is the 30 where we come together each week, every Thursday, and talk about small business owners, small business entrepreneurs, leaders, key decision makers, and things that are going on in our community that, of course, that are positive. We're only speaking about positive things. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about breakthrough. You know, we had oh my gosh, the first 2 days was unbelievable. Unbelievable. For those that attended, I want to thank you so very much for coming in and attending. I want to thank all of our speakers, of course. They did a fantastic job. And I'll give you an update as we go through the show. Sponsors, oh my gosh, it's the sponsors. You stepped up. I want to thank first and foremost our conference sponsor, Tender Loving Family Care. I want to thank you so much. CEO Anika, I want to thank you for being our conference sponsor, for having the faith in us and the believing in us and says, I want to be part of it. Thank you for that. And thank you for Livy's Jamaican Restaurant, who is one of our supporting sponsors. Stephanie Jackman, LCSW PLLC. Thank her for that. I also want to thank Awesome AV, who was our tech crew. And you know who's next, no one builds dashboards like she does. And that's Sabrina Tika of Tika Talks and Titans at the Table. She is so creative. And I want to thank everyone behind the scenes that so far that have pulled the 2 days together. Today ended on a very high note, and Carol Ricard, she is just unbelievable. She is known as America's ultimate stress expert. And I just saw a comment from her. Carol, hey, feel free to come on in. I sent you the link. Check your email if you want to come in and join us and just have a conversation. Check your email on that. The link is there, and feel free to come in. Let's see what Carol had to say here. Carol says, looking forward to the show. Thank you, Carol. Feel free to come on in. And let's see. Rosetta says, welcome again. She was one of our guests in terms of our attendees on today. But just to give you some information and update, we started off yesterday with Dr. Paul. Fantastic keynote. He was just, oh my gosh, he just set the pace. And then we moved from Dr. Paul to CJ. And CJ spoke about the importance of recruiting and hiring and making sure that you get that right. One of her quotes was, hiring managers in companies are either reactively recruiting or proactively pipelining. Wow. So hiring managers are companies that are either reactively recruiting or proactively pipelining. Powerful statement. Like Paul said, you can meet your intention every day if you just show up. You can meet your intention every day if you just show up. So I'm showing up here at the show every Wednesday. Every Thursday. You're showing up with me every Thursday, and I want to thank you for that. If this is your first time on the 30, well, welcome to the 30. And our 30 is sponsored by C. Ray's Thought Pops, of course, and Cindy Ray. She is just a great and wonderful person. I want to thank her for having the faith in us as well. C. Ray's Thought Pops, 972-862-0194. And you can tell her that you heard it under 30. Well, I have Carol here. Carol, you're back.
I'm back. A little bit of food and refreshment, and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. What? Hey, you did a fantastic job today. Thank you. What a day. Let me say, I was writing notes, Carol. I love what you says about mind and how you defined it. M is for magnificent, I is for instrument, N is for needing, yep. And D is for direction, right?
Yep. It's a magnificent instrument.
Instrument, needing direction.
Yep.
Wow. What an awesome.
Patrick, it was a great day. I mean, I was able to attend all day long, and I learned so much in just the couple sessions that I was sort of introduced to. And so I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I'm glad my schedule is free and I can be there again tomorrow. I had to miss the first day. I was bummed, but I'll catch the recordings.
There you go. Now, Carol, you introduced to us some new stuff that you did today. We don't want to give everyone everything that you said, of course. They would have to get the recordings. But you talked about, I love the gratitude box. Where did that come from?
Well, that actually came from when I was working in a hospital, anything that I could make concrete, right? And so we talk about gratitude and we know it, but I'm a big believer that the more we get our body involved in the process, the better. So it was just, my box and writing my little slips of gratitude on there and then putting them in that box. So that it's just not a mental practice, but it's also a physical practice as well.
Wow. Now you have something new for us. You have a new site and a new system that you rolled out for us today. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's the site is freedomfromstress.com, because what I've realized is that while we can't stop stress, we can control how it impacts us. And with the right tools, you can have freedom. You don't have to be kind of caught to the victim of life circumstances, and because here's the thing, in life, you don't get to choose the cards you're dealt. So you just got to be able to play the hand as best as you can. And
that's right.
And the method that I shared today was the CALM method. And it simply stands for connect, aware, let out, and then mind fair. And each of those 4 stages are, kind of stops on the way to that freedom and to really feeling calm. And that's the whole idea behind the CALM method.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you I would say you showed out today, Carol. You were just on fire. I've known you now since last year, and this is something. This is like the new Carol.
I was inspired, Patrick, because I know, that you were putting together this great quality, right? And so I was just inspired to say, okay, what can I do to also serve people just the way that you've been serving people? So, I considered it a privilege.
Well, thank you so much for showing up, and of course we have Ben here too. Ben was our featured performer yesterday, and he was also here today and lending his expertise. Ben, how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well. I'm just thinking, Carol. I brought the meaning of the word eustress, the necessary stress of learning. I took so many notes while I was watching yours. I kind of hurt my hand a little bit. I'll take it.
Probably was a little bit of a fire hose, but I just want you guys to walk away with as many tools as possible.
Yes, and boy, did you deliver! And Patrick, I'm just blown away, man. I believed in you before I saw it, just from knowing you and before I experienced your conference. But this keeps running through my mind all day. I'm like, oh, I thought I was just going to take a little bit longer lunch and come back a little after. And then I'm sitting here. I'm like, nah, I just come on time. And I get there. I'm like, oh, I would have missed that if I was not here. Oh, I would have missed that. And so I kept going like that. And now 2 days of going like that. And so Patrick, I'm gonna have to buy you dinner or something, man.
No. It was an awesome time. I mean, Jackie started off with Jackie this morning.
Yeah,
talking about leadership essentials, and just hearing Jackie's story was just awesome.
Yeah, and where she took it, it's like, as an entrepreneur, we either learn it from a book or trial and error and screwing it up, and we don't necessarily have all our screw ups from the past figured out yet. The number of dots that connected in these 3 presentations today, which were like, it pulls it from, I sort of trialed and errored my way through that one thing to, I can just use this one little method that was delivered right here. And so it gives a lot more agility to be able to use simple acronyms that the speakers have been delivering and simple models. And I've got all my notes right there, right next to my action section in my planner, so that I can pop back and look at something right before I'm doing hiring and look at some notes from today and yesterday. So powerful.
Yeah. So we start off. No,
Patrick, I got to interrupt you though, because honestly, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about your session. And I'm sorry,
Right.
My dog's going a little berserk.
That's okay. That's all right.
Bring him over. We'll get 10 more people watching. They love the dog.
Exactly. People love animals.
Must be the UPS truck or the FedEx guy.
The UPS truck.
But we would be remiss, Ben and I mean, Patrick, everybody listening needs to know that you did another fantastic session as well. And I learned so much about, relationships and results through relationships, and really I'd never heard the things that you were describing today. And to me, it was kind of like it was gold, quite honestly, because it was professional use, but also personal use as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I just realized I can invite my friend to the conference who I told about your session today. I was telling him, here we go, inviting him now. So I was telling my friend about that. I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm figuring out, I had that employee and she was this kind of a thing. And I realized that when the crisis hit, her process was all messed up and she just wasn't able to deliver anything anymore. And that was green on your chart. And I'm like, green, red, blue. That's easier to understand, people. And then I was sitting here thinking about my business and I went, oh, and my ex-girlfriend, she was a red. Yeah.
Oh, Ben, you are too funny.
And so
it was great. We started Jackie, and then we had David, Pastor David, and he talked about time management. It was just an awesome time in terms of how do you prioritize your time, because we all have 24 hours in a day, right?
Right, and you can go to a time management presentation, and I'm people call me for time management stuff, and I got like 5 pages of notes, and this is in the back of my digital calendar. These are the notes. So I made it accessible in this digital planner book I have. So I click this last page right here, and all my time management notes will pop up right away, and then I click back and I'm in the calendar there. And so there were so many good things. I just filled the page right in my calendar so that I could keep those habits going. And one of those interesting takeaways, Patrick, was, I mean, we all view time in minutes and hours and blocks on the calendar. The presenter today was it Dan, David? Dave Coleman. He talked about time as an event.
Yeah.
And you're really concerned with the event?
Yeah.
The outcome of the event, and not like you're not concerned as much about the 12 minutes. You just want to make sure that your event goes well. And that time management suddenly was sort of redefined as controlling the events that comprise my life. And effectiveness was being successful at producing the desired outcome at the event. And then you had Dr. Vicky on there who added this brilliant couple of statements. One is that she goes back and looks after the week is done to assess if she spent her time building her vision and living the balanced kind of life that she wanted. I never thought to like go back and read.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And review it, right?
Yeah. And then there was an element in there about not only can you see your values, but if you are not doing something that you keep writing on there, then maybe that one is not really within your values or interests to do. And that's not a direction you want to go. And one other important thing Dr. Vicky brought out was that, there's a lot of transactional things you can put into your time management documents where you're sitting there going, okay, for this hour, I do this. And she said, no, plan in your friends, your relationships, your sort of networking contacts and transformational experiences as opposed to just your transactional experience.
Yep. Now that was some powerful stuff. Yeah, it was I tell you, for those that missed it, you missed a fantastic 2 days. I may be biased in saying that, but
we're all biased now.
Awesome. It was awesome.
Listen, we're not you, and we'll say that.
I'm looking forward for tomorrow. I know you still can register. I'm going to put the link up there where you can go to register and join us tomorrow because we still have some time, right? That we can do that. What would be, Carol, if you were to say, what would be your two top things from the conference so far? If you were to say.
Well, I definitely love, I have to say the time piece and really kind of like, because you know what it is? The favorite thing is that I learned things that I didn't know that I can actually use to make a difference in my life day to day, both personally and professionally. And that, kind of came from, the speakers that we had today. And quite honestly, for me, I would say that my event and my time at the event today was transformational. And it wasn't for me a transactional. It really, the information that we kind of took away from there was just pretty darn incredible. So I don't know if I could quantify it any more than that, other than it was learning some new strategies, with regards to relationships and also with regards to time. Now, when it comes to leadership, I love listening, and learning from Jackie. I myself don't have anybody, just little old me. So I don't have to, be a leader of anybody but myself. But,
Solopreneur.
But really, that was the incredible part about it, was just how much I felt like I grew just in this little window of time, how much I grew.
Awesome. Ben, what were your top two last couple of days?
Well, I began drinking heavily, Patrick.
You're drinking heavily.
Every once in a while, I have to. Wow. No, I'm just kidding. That's excellent dihydrogen monoxide. Whew. That's going to hit later. So many different things. I had some challenges with employment over the last year, and it was a really distinct employment situation to hire people during COVID. And all the other people ran like my summer camp or entertainment business. And these were people who over years were referred in, worked for friends, and had some more part-time available. I onboarded them over years. So they were like really fully vetted that way. And now I have to hire for my summer camp, for example, and get that done in 2 weeks. So it's not like I have a bunch of job descriptions laying around. I do now. I made one with an HR team. But a lot of the hiring conversations taught me how to take what I was doing through really long, extended channels, and now I can just do it and find the people quickly under any circumstance. And as I got those new people over the previous year, like last summer, for example, I didn't realize that people just didn't flesh out all the skills around what they were doing. I studied everything, and I'm like, you don't know how to do that. You're a web designer. You can't. And they're like, no, that's way out of my. And I'm like, I do that, and I'm a magician. What are you talking? And so I found all these people, and I didn't understand how somebody could be a mismatch in just some of those areas. So talking about that today, I learned that the reason I had to give those people so many instructions every single day is because I hadn't hired them for the position specifically and sifted through a whole bunch of people to find someone that was the exact fit. That when they walked in, they were doing their job and I didn't have to handhold on every single thing, even 3 months later.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I fired everybody that works for me now. No, I'm just kidding. Just joking.
Good. All right. So let's talk about, as we kind of wind down here, let's talk about the projects that you are working on, because I want to make sure that you also get the plug and the exposure that you so richly deserve, right? So Carol, what are some of the things that you are working on that you want our audience to know about?
Well, first thing was I was working on my new website. And so, to go check it out because I wanted to give some resources there. But I have to tell you, I'm looking forward to being able to serve first-time pregnant women and make a difference for them in their lives and really in the lives of their children. And that was, that's just a really project that's near and dear to my heart, and just looking forward how I can take what I've learned from this conference and be able to kind of incorporate that into kind of getting that message out there.
That's awesome, Carol. So first-time pregnant women. Is there any information or the website is not up yet, right?
It is just that it's very it's in its early pregnancy.
Well, when you are ready, when it's up and running, you can always come back here.
Yeah, the method that I shared with you all today is kind of the heart of that calm method, and so yeah.
I feel calm right now, Carol, but inside I'm thinking to myself, I will never make a good mother.
Yeah, no.
So Carol, when you're ready to launch, just let me know, and you always have a place here to come back and talk about it to our viewers, okay?
Great. Thanks, Patrick.
You're welcome. Ben, what are you working on? Real quick, Ben.
My summer camp is opening back up, but I am a virtual entertainer. So I'm entertaining for corporate and social events and conferences worldwide, actually, sometimes the entire world at once. You can find me at bencorey.com. And I have a whole cast of entertainers for virtual happy hours, holiday parties, customer and employee appreciation events, and things of that nature. And where everybody thinks, oh, this is not going to be good because we have to have the party on virtual. No, we're going to make it awesome. So that's Skyfire Entertainment. You can find it at bencorey.com. And then for kids, this summer, I am opening the Brainstar Clubhouse, a virtual clubhouse for kids to hang out with really awesome entertainers like me, a bubble magician, a beatbox guy, and we are teaching grit, resiliency, and all those skills woven into the talents that we teach kids. And they spend a little time on the screen and then 5 hours outside blowing bubbles. So
Wow.
we designed to use the screen time to get them busy off the screen.
And Ben, is that local to where you are in Maryland, or is it virtual?
Virtual, brainstarclubhouse.com.
All right. So do me a favor, after the show, put that information in the comments for us, okay? And Carol, you do the same, drop the information in the comments, because we all need, our viewers, we all need to know, especially from a small business and entrepreneur side, right? The largest budget is usually the marketing budget. So if we can help you in that way, in terms of letting our viewers know exactly what you're doing, we would be happy to help, because it's all about that. It's all about relationship, Bill. It's about partnership. It's all about strategic partnership. So let us know. We'll be happy to assist. Any last words?
Yeah, I just added to my notes, Patrick. The marketing budget is usually the largest budget. Taking notes.
Well, I'll set a payroll. Of course.
Yes, I'm teasing. Well, Carol, I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Patrick, you too. And I think if anybody can make it for even just one session, it's worth it. You would say that too, right, Carol?
Yep. Absolutely.
I feel like if I had 4 days with you, Carol, I'd still be learning by day 5. And, it's a well of wisdom and brilliance amongst the crew here. And very excited to be hanging out with that kind of crew. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's it. So we start tomorrow. Doors open at 9:30. We start at 10. Between 9:30 and 10, Oz is jamming some music. So here's the link here. You can just click on that, go to that link, or put a URL in your system. Go register. If you have already registered, come on into the dashboard and come on over. We're going to kick it off with Sabrina Tika, and she's going to be talking about the power of social media. Then we have Jamie, and she was on fire when she joined us before, when we did the rehearsal. She was so excited. So I can't wait for tomorrow. And she's going to be talking about the customer experience. And then we will end with Lisa Withers Jackman, and she's going to be talking about aligning culture to your business strategy. Powerful.
Yeah, you want employees to stay. You get that information and work it into your system and get the culture right on the way in, and customer turnover can drop down like that. I'm excited because I feel like I know some things about culture. I've got a unique culture when I run my Magic Camp. It's designed to get people excited more every single day. But I know I'm about to learn a million things tomorrow that I never would have even touched.
Yeah, and Lisa has led multinational companies, and she's just a dynamic person. So I can't wait. All 3 of them. Yeah. Of course, Sabrina is the guru when it comes to social media and dashboards and everything else. So she's just that talented and gifted. And then I know Jamie personally, and I've worked with Jamie. We've partnered together on many things, and the customer experience is her passion. So she's going to be it's going to be fantastic tomorrow. I look forward to it. And
talking to Sabrina is like, you start a little conversation, and then suddenly it's like, whoa, I didn't know that. Really? Like, tell me more about this. Suddenly your hand is just going, notes are running out. I mean, such a well of knowledge on and she can make it very accessible for people. She's that big of a master that she can explain it easily too.
Absolutely. And she's helped all of us, right? Yeah. She's have some say in what we do. So I'm looking forward to it. Carol, you have the last word. Just take us out.
Well, I was just going to say, anybody and everybody, be there tomorrow. It's a great resource that Patrick has made available for us, and hope to see you all there, quite honestly.
There you go. And your entry is free, right?
Exactly. Doesn't get any better than that, right?
Exactly.
Great
just your
content,
time.
Free.
Just your time. 10 o'clock, be there. Go ahead and put the link, the URL in your system. Register. If you're registered, just show up.
If this information were delivered in person like this, I could see this being $2,900 or $4,900. I mean, to have all these experts on one after the other for 3 days.
Yeah.
So this is something to have. This access is amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Carol. You guys have a fantastic. We'll see you tomorrow. Get some rest. All right.
Get some rest.
We'll see you tomorrow, Ben. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So we've been chatting with Ben Corey, bencorey.com, and also Carol Ricard. Carol is going to be working on a new system, a new vision that she has, which will focus on young pregnant women. So, but our speakers, dynamic. You want to be there tomorrow. Join us for the Breakthrough Conference, Breakthrough Small Business and Leadership Conference. The link is right here. You just have to, you can copy it. I'm going to put it in the comments field. You just got to be there, right? You just got to show up and be there. Don't be late, be on time, because if you're late, you may miss something along the way. Rosetta, thank you so much. And she said, thank you all. Good night. And I think that's about it. That will take us home. She said it all. Good night to all. We will see you tomorrow at Breakthrough. Small Business and Leadership Conference. Good night. God bless you and your family. Be safe.